Since the first release of Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord, even all the way back in early access of March of 2020, there's been one thing that has plagued the game, one thing that people have said over and over again: taleworlds, please help us fix this, and that is siege battles. You see, everything that Bannerlord does is unlike most other games, having these massive fights with clans and factions going head to head on battlefields and sieges in villages and across rivers. You can command your own troops wherever you are and slowly build up your army. But as you get bigger and bigger, you start to move from caravan and village raiding to fighting lords in the field, and then eventually you want to kind of look at taking some castles. But that's when you start to find that the AI probably just wasn't built for sieging. Whether it's getting stuck at the bottom of ramps, getting stuck behind a battering ram and not being able to get through the front gate, or most notably, the ladders on the level 3 siege towers are the bane of any Bannerlord player's life. Men would pool at the bottom, not get onto the ladders, and even when they did, it would be 1, 2, 3 at a time without being able to fill out the full rungs. You'd have an army of hundreds, but they get picked off one by one, trickling up the ladders in such small numbers that the enemy can just stand at the top, hit them off, and then throw firebombs down to the massive pool at the bottom of these siege towers, and it was the most infuriating thing ever. And after all this time, even a year and a half after the early access release, it still hasn't been patched despite the massive hysteria from players. But that's all about to change, because yesterday a mod came out for Mount & Blade claiming to fix sieges, to fix the siege towers, and to make them actually work as well, actual effective structures that will help your party and not hinder it. I didn't believe this because it's not being done by the developers, right? So a mod is not going to come along and do it, but it seems like they're not lying. This is something you're probably going to want to stick around for, because someone actually fixed sieges in Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. Right, so first things first, let's have a look at what a siege battle is like without this new modding. This is what the base game is, and don't get me wrong, taleworlds have done stuff to improve the AI, and whilst it has been better, it still is far, far from perfect. First, have a look at a battle without the mod installed, and then let's go to one where it should, hopefully, all be fixed. Okay, so here we are at a level 3 castle. It's pretty big, which means the invaders need bigger artillery and bigger siege weaponry, which means their siege towers will have full ladders on them. Now, it's cool, it looks awesome when you're playing with it, but as we've noticed in many of the games past for Bannerlord, the siege towers don't tend to work all that well with the AI. Their pathing just gets stuck on ladders, and this is the main culprit. Don't get me wrong, it does break with other things as well, but these siege towers with the ladders on are the main issue for the AI. Right then, siege tower, up you come. Come onto my walls. We'll let you get up here. It should actually start sending my troops up to defend the wall as soon as this ramp goes down. As soon as, there we go, it's triggered. Here come my men. And now we can see from the side, up go the enemy. Now, it has, as I've mentioned, greatly improved from what it was at the beginning. But still, getting stuck at the bottom there is just a death wish for anyone, especially if people are chucking down on top of them, like I'm about to demonstrate. Oh, there she blows. Beautiful. Now, there's something else to be said about what happens once they get up onto the siege tower. The absolute glitching and bugging about. But it is safe to say this is something that has needed to be sorted from the very beginning. I mean, look at these guys. They're blocking it because they're just not attaching themselves to the ladder. 3 guys have gone up so far. Yeah, that siege tower over there is broken on this round. So the whole team is trying to get up this ladder, and 3 have made it up. 3. Come on, if I push them forward a bit. There we go. Another one's latched on. Oh, yeah, here we go. We're starting to get a few more on. But look at this. Look at this. I did say that this has improved over time, and it has a little bit. Look, we're still getting more up. Jesus Christ, he just fell. But this is a disaster, especially in a game that is built around medieval sieges, at least the late game. It starts to get to the point where you're trying to take over these castles with massive armies like this, but really, this isn't 500 versus 500. This is about 40 versus 500, because my men just can't get up the siege tower. It's starting to go a little bit better at the moment here, but there's still men blocking up. You can see they're trying to attack something. I guess they're trying to attack the enemies at the top, but they just end up hitting our own guys. Oh, God. So let's see if we can fix this. Okay, so I've installed this new Siege Tower Fix mod. Now, I understand this is a completely different map. The names on this game are so confusing, I would never remember what map I used last time. But this is the same level 3 tier castle, which means we're using the same siege towers, the same units, the same pretty much numbers of army. So let's see if this mod has fixed it. So what we're going to see here is the siege tower going up with the same 3 ladders. And as we saw before, they all got stuck at the bottom. A couple guys started to make it, and then once you pushed them a little bit, they all started to go up one by one, and you started to get maybe be 10 or so people on the siege tower at once. Now, what this mod is hoping to do, or at least what they said on the Nexus page, is that it just works. That troops don't get stuck on the bottom and they'll instantly go up. Now, I don't know if this is because they tend to be going a little bit more single file here as they're going up following behind the siege tower. You see, normally they group up in lines, but these guys seem to be a little bit more in a column. Maybe this could be what the modder did to fix it. They did say they spent hours and hours of trial and error, but finally they think they've actually cracked the code. Those guys did not crack the code to living, though. Right then, lads, this is your moment. This is your moment to not disappoint, to make everybody watching this video that it is possible to have AI that can go up a ladder properly. It's been over a year since the game came out, probably about a year and a half now, and still we don't have working siege AI. Could this be the moment? Okay, the ladder has gone up, and here go the AI. Are they still getting stuck at the bottom? They are grouping a little bit, but look at this, instantly you can see the difference. Admittedly, they're still glitching at the bottom, but that's only because they physically can't get onto the ladder. But when they can, they go up straight away. You can see a little bit of a gap there. There was a little bit of a lost man there. But look at this. You can instantly see how much better this is. The siege tower is full. Completely full of people. We're getting that side's doing exactly the same as well. We're getting men straight up onto the walls, and you can see they're doing way better. Of course, there's still going to be that choke point at the top because the AI tend to push out onto the ramp, but look at this. The sieges have been fixed. Modders did it, everybody. Modders have done it. It's taken over a year and a half, but finally we have working siege towers in Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord. I never thought I'd see the day. I genuinely never thought I'd see the day. It seems like such a small thing, and for people that haven't been part of the Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord journey, from when it released into early access to where it is now, they probably don't understand how much of a big deal this is. No more will you be losing massive armies because of glitches in the AI. I don't believe this. I genuinely... I'm speechless. And to think that it was done by a modder, not even taleworlds themselves. I mean, we've got the doors open now, so they're starting to go up there, but look at this. It's just a constant channel of people. There's no gaps or anything. Now, something I did want to try is how this works with the ramp siege towers, because we know ladders have been the biggest issue, but the ramps still have troubles. I remember one of my first videos on Bannerlord talking about how troops just get stuck at the bottom of ramps, and it was incredibly annoying. I wonder if that's also been fixed within the mod. Yeah, I'd say the AI pathfinding on the ramps also looks like it's improved quite a bit. Now it's, as I mentioned, harder to tell because the ramps were always a bit better. They didn't bug out nearly as much, but it looks like that, if anything, it's overdone it. So many AI are trying to get on, they're just pushing each other off. But once again, full ramps. Good job. Good job. Oh, God. Right then, back in the final siege we go. We've got some pretty big walls here, and once again we're using all the siege weaponry possible for this battle. We're not playing as the Empire anymore, we're playing as the Valandians now. It doesn't really make any difference to what we get with this mod, but hey, a bit of variation is always nice, isn't it? Now what I am noticing is these guys aren't doing more column work. They seem to be in the general siege formation idea, so maybe my theory that the mod changes it to columns when they're pushing the siege weaponry isn't quite correct. And here we go. The attack is commencing. The guys are spreading out, and the ladders are they being used properly? Oh no. Have I broken it again? The ladders have been put up, and there go our men. There's a little bit of a hiccup at the beginning there, but once it all kicked in, everyone started to go up as usual, as normal. It looks like everything is working fine. You can see on that side, everyone's heading up the ladder as well. My, this mod makes such a difference. And I'm just watching people fall to their deaths at the top. Is it some sort of moronic response to the PTSD of having terrible ladders over the last few years of Mount and Blade? Maybe. Or maybe it's just fun to watch people fall to their death. Oh my god, there goes a sword. Watch. Oh. Come on, lads, we've got to make some headway here. Oh, my word, they're going absolutely flying. They're getting whacked with maces, and their bodies are flopping. They be flopping very far. I'm going to go and check the other side, see how that's going. Right, lads, how are you faring over here? You're still managing to get up that ladder, although that middle ladder... Oh, dear. Oh dear, we are having issues with that middle ladder there. It doesn't look like this mod is perfect. Oh, okay, it looks like we fixed ourselves. Yeah, the mod isn't perfect. It still has some issues, and even with the mod actually working, it is creating a knock-on effect with different issues in the game. You've seen so many people falling off the top, and whilst, of course, that is part of the regular vanilla version of Bannerlord, the fact that when they get to the top, if they do get killed, they will fall off. The fact that there's so many men going up because, I mean, the siege towers are being used properly, the game is struggling a little bit. And stuff like that happens. I mean, it's way better than everyone getting stuck at the bottom, don't get me wrong. It's way more entertaining, and we're actually getting a ton of kills now. But whether the game is coping with this newfound power, I don't know. I don't know. There's something quite sad about this. Oh, there goes an enemy falling off. That guy's just chilling there on the side. He's managed to get his groin caught in the wooden slats. That's unfortunate. Oh, my word. Well, this is what happens when you fix Bannerlord. It tends to fight back. You know, when the game works too well, it often causes other issues, which we have found here. But hey, I'm loving this. If you guys want to go and check out this mod, I would really recommend you do, since it is being refined. And of course, it came out yesterday, so there's so much more that can be done. As we've seen, there are a few issues, but the base of what it's trying to do, it does fantastically. It fixes siege towers in Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord. We're actually making some headway on that side, actually. So I'm going to go and check up there. But it is doing a really good job of making sieges finally playable, and meaning that you can use the full potential of the armies that you get within the game, which wasn't really possible before. So please go and check it out in the link in the description below. But leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, leave a dislike if you didn't, and until then, I will see you in the next one.